Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण everyone. So today is Tuesday, it is the 10th of October. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Ekadasi Tithi. So today it is fasting for Indira Ekadasi, fasting from grains, beans, and cereals. So just from the Indira Ekadasi, so there is a few lines only. So we shall read this one. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, O Madhusudana, O killer of the Madhudima, what is the name of the Ekadasi that occurs during the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha of month of Ashwini? So between September and October, please describe its glories to me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, then replied, this holy day is called Indra Ekadasi. If a person fasts on this day, all his sins are eradicated, and his forefathers who have fallen into hell are liberated. O best of kings, one who simply hears about this sacred Ekadasi achieves the great merit earned by performing a horse sacrifice. In the Satyayuga, there lived a king named Indrasena, who was so powerful that he destroyed all his enemies. His kingdom was called Mahishmatipuri. The glorious and highly religious king Indrasena took good care of his subjects, and therefore he was rich in gold, grains, sons, and grandsons. He was greatly devoted to Lord Shri Vishnu as well. He especially enjoyed chanting my name, calling out Govinda, Govinda. In this way, King Indrasena systematically dedicated himself to pure spiritual life and spent much time meditating on the absolute truth. One day, as King Indrasena happily and peacefully presided over his assembly, the perfect orator Sri Narada Muni was seen descending, white as a conch, shining like the moon, like a jasmine flower, like a lightning bolt. Narada Muni descending from the sky, he is decorated with matted locks of reddish hair. The king offered Devashi Narada, the saint among the Devas, a great respect by greeting him with joined palms, inviting him into the palace, offering him a comfortable seat, washing his feet, and speaking sweet words of welcome. Then Narada Muni said to Maharaj Indrasena, O king, are the seven limbs of your kingdom prospering? The seven limbs of your king's domain being the king's well-being himself, and his ministers, his treasury, his military forces, his allies, the Brahmanas, the sacrifices performed in his kingdom, and the needs of the king's subjects. Is your mind absorbed in thinking of how you can properly perform your occupational duty? Are you becoming more and more devoted and dedicated to the service of the Supreme Lord Shri Vishnu? The king replied, by your kind grace, O greatest of all sages, everything is quite well. Today, just by your presence, all sacrifices in my kingdom are successful. Please show me mercy and explain the reason for your kind visit here. Shri Narada, the sage among the Devas, then said, O lion among kings, listen to my astonishing words. When I descended from Brahmaloka to Yamaloka, Lord Yamaraja praised me very graciously and offered me an excellent seat. As I glorified his truthfulness and wonderful service to the Supreme Lord, I noticed your father in Yamaraja's assembly. Though he had been very religious, because he broke an Ekadasi fast prematurely, he had to go to the Yamaloka. Your father gave me a message for you. He said, in Mahishmati lives a king named Indrasena. Please tell him about my situation here, that because of my past sinful deeds, I have somehow been forced to reside in Yamaraja's kingdom. Please give him this message from me. O son, Kindly observe the coming Indra Ekadasi and give much in charity so I can go upward to heaven. So philosophically, we can understand that every living entity is an individual, and individually everyone has to practice Krishna consciousness to traverse back to home, back to Godhead. As stated in Garuda Purana, someone who is suffering in hell cannot practice Krishna consciousness because this requires some mental peace, which the reactionary tortures of hell make impossible. If a relative of a sinner suffering in hell gives some charity in the name of the sinner, he can leave hell and enter the heavenly planets. But if the sinner's relative observes this Ekadasi for his suffering kinsman, the kinsman goes directly to the spiritual world, as stated in this narration based on Brahma Vaivarta Puranam. Narada continued, just to deliver this message, O king, have I come to you. So you should help your father by observing the fast of Indira Ekadasi. By the merit you gain, your father will go to heaven. King Indrasena asked, O great Naradaji, please be merciful and tell me specifically how to observe a fast on Indira Ekadasi, and also tell me during what month and on what day it occurs. Narada Muni replied, O king, please listen as I describe to you the full process of observing the Indira Ekadasi. Number 1. This Ekadasi occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Ashwin. Number 2. On the Dashmi Tithi, the day before Ekadasi, rise early in the morning, take bath, and then do some service for God with full faith. Number 3. At noon, bathe again in running water, then offer oblations to your forefathers with faith and devotion. Number 4. Be sure not to eat more than once on this day, and at night sleep on the floor. Number 5. When you awaken on Ekadashi morning, cleanse your mouth and teeth thoroughly, and then, with deep devotion for the Lord, take this sacred vow. Today I shall fast completely and give up all kinds of sense enjoyment. O lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, O infallible one, please give me shelter at your lotus feet. And after that, at noon, stand before sacred form of the Sri Shaligramasila and worship him faithfully, following all the rules and regulations. Then offer oblations of ghee into sacred fire and tarpana directed to help your forefathers. Next, feed qualified Brahmins, obviously non-grain prasadams, and offer them some charity according to your means. Now take the food pindas you offered to your forefathers, smell it, and then offer it to a cow. Next, worship Lord Hrishikesha with incense and flowers. And finally, remain awake all night near the deity of Lord Shri Keshava. So early in the morning of the next day, Dwadasi Tithi, worship Shri Hari with great devotion and invite Brahmin devotees to a sumptuous feast. Then feed all your relatives and finally take your meal in silence. O king, if you strictly observe a fast on Indira Ekadasi in this way, with the controlled senses, your father will surely be elevated to the abode of Lord Vishnu. After saying this, Devarshi Narada immediately disappeared from the scene to bless someone else with his presence. King Indrasena followed the great saint's instructions perfectly, observing the fast in the association of his relatives and servants. As he broke his fast on the Dwadasi Tithi, flowers fell from the sky. The merit that Indrasena Maharaj earned by observing this fast released his father from the kingdom of Yamaraja and caused him to attain completely spiritual body. Indeed, Indrasena saw him rising to the abode of Lord Hari on the back of Garuda Vahana. Indrasena himself was able to rule his kingdom without any obstacles, and in time, when he handed over the kingdom to his son, he also went to the spiritual realm of Vaikunta. O Yudhishthira, these are the glories of the Indira Ekadasi, which occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Ashwin. Whoever hears or reads this narration certainly enjoys life in this world, is freed of all reactions to his past sins, and at the time of death returns home, back to Godhead, where he lives eternally. Thus ends the narration of the glories of Ashwin Krishna Ekadasi or Indira Ekadasi, taken from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Indra Ekadasi ki jai. That is from the events perspective. So we shall quickly enter into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj has come to the point where Dharani and Dharma were talking each other, and he has observed the Kali in the form of Shudra, who is dressed like a king, who is the lowest among the men. So he was beating the cow and uh, the bull. So and the bull is very white color, and also when this Shudra Kali Purusha was beating the cow, and he was just urinating with the fear, and he was terribly terrified by looking at this Sudra, this Kali Purusha. So Vrusham Runala Dhavalam Mehant Eva Bibhitam Vepamanam Padakaina Sidantam Sudra Taditam. So likewise, this cow and Dharma both are afraid because of Kali Purusha. So further, Suta Goswami is saying that the cow, mother cow, it is everyone receives the benefits from the mother cow and the bull. Now here, it looks they are helpless. Now cow and bull, they are helpless because this Kali Purusha is always hitting the legs of the cow and the bull, and especially mother cow. It is appearing like it doesn't have a cough as well, and keeping the tears in her eyes, and she was so weak. And then cow is just desiring to eat some kind of grass, because grass and water, so that it will gain little bit of energy. So that is the situation. So now both are in the very pitiable condition, Dharma and Dharani. So now Parikshit is observing that situation. We are in the first canto, chapter 17, verse number 3. Garach dharma dhugam dhinam Brusham Sudra Pada Ahatam Vivattam Ashruvadanam Shamam Yavasam Ichyatim Garacha Dharma Dhugam Dina Gamcha Dharma Dhugam Dina Brusham Sudra Pada Ahatam Vivattam Ashruvadanam Shamam Yavasam Ichyatim Gamcha Dharma Dhugam. So mother cow, who is a Dharma Dhugam. Dhugam is giving all kinds of desires. Dharma Dhugam, which are enjoined with the Dharma. So here it is mentioned the beneficial, because one can draw religion from her. So all kinds of results from uh, Dharma, following Dharma. Gamcha Dharma Dhugam Dina, and it is in the Dhena Sthiti. This is Dhena Sthiti is the one who is like a rendered or something. Here it is mentioned rendered, or who is deserved to receive mercy. Dhena. Brusham Sudra Pada Ahatam. And also she is lamenting, she is distressed because Sudra Pada Ahatam. This person, Kali Purusha, who is the lowest among the men, Sudra, and he is beating on the legs. Pada Ahatam. Brusham Sudra Pada Ahatam. Vivatsam Ashruvadanam. Vyavastam, the cow is without a cough. So when the mother, when she is with her children, then only she is happy. When she doesn't have any children, she is always in the distressful condition as well. So Vivatsam Ashuravadanam, without any cough and with tears in her eyes. Vivatsam Ashuravadanam, keeping she was in the lamentation. and she is Chamam Yavasam Ichatim. So mother cow is very weak, and Yavasam, it is grass. She wanted to eat some kind of grass because of weakness. So this is the situation of mother cow. It is so pitiable condition. गां च धर्मदुघां दीनां वृषं शूद्र पद आहतां विवत्साम् अशुरवदनां क्षामं यवसम् इच्छतिम्. So translation on this verse is, although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principles from her, she was now rendered poor and calfless. Her legs were being beaten by a Shudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the next symptom of the age of Kali is distressed condition of the cow. Milking the cow means drawing the principles of religion in a liquid form. The great rishis and munis would live only on milk. Srila Sukadeva Goswami would go to a householder while he was milking a cow, and he would simply take a little quantity of it for subsistence. Even 50 years ago, no one would deprive a sadhu of a quart or two of milk, and every householder would give milk like water. For a Sanatanist, a follower of Vedic principles, it is the duty of every householder to have cows and bulls as household paraphernalia, not only for drinking milk, but also for deriving religious principles. The Sanatanist worships cow on religious principles and respects Brahmanas. The cow's milk is required for the sacrificial fire, and by performing sacrifices, the householder can be happy. The cow's calf not only is beautiful to look at, but also gives satisfaction to the cow, and so she delivers as much milk as possible. But in the Kali Yuga, the calves are separated from the cows as early as possible for purposes which may not be mentioned in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. The cow stands with tears in her eyes. The Sudra milk The Sudra milkman draws milk from the cow artificially, and when there is no milk, the cow is sent to be slaughtered. These greatly sinful acts are responsible for all the troubles in present society. People do not know what they are doing in the name of economic development. The influence of Kali will keep them in the darkest darkness of ignorance. Despite all endeavors for peace and prosperity, they must try to see the cows and the bulls happy in all respects. Foolish people do not know how one earns happiness by making the cows and bulls happy. But it is a fact by the law of nature. Let us take it from the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam and adopt the principles for the total happiness of humanity. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in this purport, Prabhupada is giving how important mother cow and the bull, how harmonious that the environment where these bulls and cows are. It gives all these necessities of the human life, and all the food doesn't need human. The cows and bulls, they take it as a food and give all the necessity to the humans or householders. And milk was given like that, freely to all these Sanatanists or sadhus whenever they come. So it was the custom. Nowadays, it is now gradually being decreased. Everywhere we see these people, sadhus, they are not being respected. But in this world days, it is so beautiful when we are at the home. It is not the buildings, it is a small hut, and having the cow and calves and other small hens and the goats around in and around home. And it is not nothing else, no cement, no iron are used, just only the soil walls, and then just with the roofs of the homes, they are made with the grass. Inside the home, it is everything harmonious, very peaceful. It doesn't need any fans and all these heaters. It is the natural environment. Everything is so happy, And when these calves are just jumping here and there, the children, they take very great pleasure. As soon as they go to the mother cow and drinking milk, children are happy and also mother cow is happy. That way, it is so happy moment for everyone. But now we don't see such kind of things. Everywhere just putting all cement roads, tar roads, and making the buildings. It is making the hell, making one's life. Our tradition says, um, how to go even for the toilet as well. So in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it says that it doesn't need any kind of intoxicants to be used to cleanse the toilets and then putting the water, all this thing. It doesn't need it. We used to go outside in the open area, and where this is Brahma Vaivarta Purana, a open area, and one has to leave evacuation there and then just in the open area, not in the waters. And also in the morning in one direction, afternoon one direction, evening one direction, likewise in whatever the time you go, you sit in that direction and evacuate, and then close the uh, with some kind of soil, and that way everything is done, and then cleans the body. So it was that it was toilets were not needed, no intoxicants or just chemicals are to be used. So it is a very harmonious environment. And come home, at home even the bathrooms are far away from the home. Now the situation is people go and eat outside and come and do everything nonsense in the homes. That is the situation now. So that previously eat in the home, go outside and evacuate. That was the situation before. That is the all this harmonious environment is being ruined. So these instructions have been given in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, how to one can live happily. So what we have seen in this Indra Ekadasi is coming from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. So likewise, this Sudra here, because of his influence, they are sending these calves. So it is very horrible things how these calves are being treated. So that's why these are not mentioned in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And cows, so it is very horrible situation, separating mother and a child. That's why all these calamities are happening in our society nowadays in the name of so-called economic development. Tantan Chipanti Asarneshu Tamassu Hanta. Okay, so that is the horrible situation, and Prabhupada is giving practically. So we have to take it from the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam and adopt the principles for the total happiness of humanity. So the Bhagavatam is the way of life. So nowadays some people are very unfortunate. They are not even get a chance to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Gamja dharma dhugam deenam brusham sudra pada ahatam. Vivatsam ashiravadanam shamam yavasam ityatim. So now mother cow, she is so weak, and because still that Sudra is hitting mother cow, and she is anchoring for some grass in the field. So that is the pitiable condition. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Ranadhir, October 15, 1969, Titan Hast Bharat. Can I request any devotees to read this small letter?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Ranad, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your letter.
Mataji, we could not hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, I've noted that carefully. In my opinion, Hayagriva should maintain New Vrindavan as an ideal grihastha. He should spend at least 50%. He should spend at least 50% of his income for New Vrindavan. So if he has got money, you should not ask any other centers for maintenance of the cows. Things are coming along nicely in London, and last week we were granted permission by the authorities to occupy the building at 7 Berry Place. So more and more Krishna is giving us facilities to push on the Krishna consciousness. Throughout the world. Tonight, there is to be held an engagement in Conway Hall in London, and in previous engagements, I have marked that many of the English are very intelligent and nicely disposed towards our movement. By the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the boys and girls of Western countries are eagerly accepting the Sankirtan movement and gradually making perfection in their lives. You are a sincere soul, so continue to chant Hare Krishna, the prescribed number of rounds, depending on Krishna in all instances, and surely he will be pleased to bestow his blessings upon you. Please offer my blessings to others. I hope this will meet you in good health. Ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Yeah, so obviously, Srila Prabhupada is saying that for a grahasta, they should spend at least 50% of the income for maintenance. And also that the fact that because the Sankirtan movement was becoming more popular, naturally the resources, like Krishna being pleased, the resources were also coming. And then he's obviously again speaking about the importance of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and also saying that in the West, people were taking to it nicely, and people were becoming attracted to the movement, especially in London. Yeah.
For summarizing it. Any other points, dear devotees? Okay, so, and also Prabhupada mentions here, you should not ask other centers for maintenance of the cows. So it is, if we are maintaining cows, it is for our benefit. So of course it is as part of the New Vrindavan's sustenance. This once again we have been hearing cows number of times. Okay. And Prabhupada further gives that. So you are a sincere soul, so continue to chant Hare Krishna, and the prescribed number of rounds depend on Krishna in all instances, and surely he will be pleased to bestow his blessings upon you. That is very beautiful point. So just only do it, and swadharma charanam sekya vidharmacha nivattanam daivalabdhena santosha atmaviccharanachanam. Just only depend on Krishna, and Krishna's devotees, Atmavit Charanachanam, worship the saintly people and follow your regulative principles or duties, Swadharma Charanam, Sektya, according to your stamina, and leaving all the Vidharma. And be satisfied with whatever is coming, and then everything will come into one complete whole picture by the end of life. Okay, so and Prabhupada is glorifying his disciples, all the boys and girls of the Western countries. Okay, that is my takeaway. Any other points, dear devotee?
I think also Srila Prabhupada's vision is very long term. It's like he can speak for like all times and all ages and people. Like the fact that we can still be inspired by his words, and that we're kind of in that. Obviously, this letter, we're kind of in that, especially for some of us that live in London, we're in that situation, and it's very, all his vision is very futuristic, as well as in that time, and it kind of contains all the times, and it's applicable to anyone at any time, like the Bhagavad Gita is.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that's perfectly said. These are eternal knowledge and Sanatana Dharma. That is what Prabhupada has said. It is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means always, all times and places, circumstances, it is applicable. That is Srila Prabhupada's spread of these words from the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is eternal on all circumstances, all times. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements perspective, I couldn't get a chance to send a poll for Kirtan evening timings to fix it, okay, to revise the times. And the dear devotees, so in case if you want to say now, kindly tell the which is convenient time, or we can send a poll so that you can vote there. Shreedhar Prabhuji, would you like to send a poll to the group, or
Sorry, Prabhu.
would you like to send the poll to the group so devotees would vote for 8 or 8:30?
Okay, Prabhu. I haven't did something like this before, but I'll give a try. Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so on the Wednesday, based on this time fix, so we will have Kirtan evening. And that's it from the upcoming events perspective. I don't have further updates. Dear devotees, if you have got any further updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. So if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत वैष्णव भक्तों की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।
Very good. Hare Krishna.
हरे
Oh,
कृष्ण। नमस्ते एवरीवन। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय